welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about once saved, always saved. I don't think so. Let's get right into this video. Thank you for tuning in and I appreciate you showing up. But I wanted to hit on the topic of once saved, always saved. What I am going to tell you is that no, it's not that simple. No, it's not. Once saved, always saved is not a true thing. We're going to dive into the Bible. We're going to actually hear the words of Jesus Christ explain these things to you. You're hearing a lot on the internet. You're hearing a lot on YouTube that once saved, always saved. I actually was inside of a live yesterday and someone was actually talking about, once saved, always saved. And that is not true. We have a responsibility as believers and a great commission that we must follow to be able to carry those things out. Without further ado, we're going to be going into Matthew chapter 18, verses 11 to 14. So let's get right into it. Okay, so now we're going to start off at verse 11. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. What we draw from verse 11 is Jesus came to save the lost, that we were born of sin and we are lost from birth. So Jesus came to save us from our sin. He was our sacrifice. He is the one to bring salvation. So that's very important that he came to save us. So verse 11 is a starting point, and there'll be 5 questions or 5 topics of breaking this down of what Jesus is really trying to say in Matthew chapter 18 verses 11 to 14. Let's continue to go. How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and go into the mountains and seeketh that which is gone astray? So now the question is, here is what this verse is trying to say is Jesus seeks every single one of us. He seeks every single one of us. So we know that he's going to seek us out. If we are really called and he calls us and we are Christians, he's going to seek us out and he's going to bring us into the sheepfold. The one thing that's very important that we must always understand is sheep and a shepherd is a very ideal way of life in where Jesus was. The shepherd was to always make sure that the sheep is always in line, is always following along, making sure that sheep, nothing happens to that sheep, and keep them on the right path. And sometimes sheep have an issue of veering off, going astray. So this is what Jesus is saying in verse 11, that Jesus seeks every single one of us. Okay, let's go deeper. Verse 13, and if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoices more of that sheep than of the 99 which went not astray. What is that saying? What that is saying is in verses 13, what it explains is 2 things. Jesus may or may not find the lost sheep, but he will go and he will try to find that lost sheep. If we ever stray away, he will try to find us. He will try to bring us back into the sheepfold, that he will leave the 99 and go after the sheep that went astray and try to bring it back. But it doesn't promise that he's going to be able to bring us back. And in that verse, that's what it's saying. It is saying Jesus may or may not find the lost one, the lost sheep. But also this explains Jesus forgives and rejoices over the recovered one. He rejoices and forgives over the recovered one. Rejoicing and giving forgiveness for the person that he brought back to the sheepfold, that he was able to bring back into the fold and get on the right path and move forward. This speaks directly to our salvation, that we can go astray, we can move off the path of following Jesus and lose our salvation and actually walk away and be led astray. And if we get led astray, we'll talk about what happens in the next Bible verse. What did Jesus say? In 14, even so it's not the will of the Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. So what we do know, now we do know that what happens when one strays away? They perish. He doesn't say they still going to come to heaven. He doesn't say that, oh, it's okay, they're still saved. But he said they actually perish. Jesus declares a wonderful truth. God's will is not for us, a single soul, to be lost. His will for us is not for us to be lost, but to be found and brought back into the sheepfold. And that's very important. That's very important because if we go astray, we will perish. That means we will not have salvation if we go astray. We have a responsibility as believers Jesus, to be able to stay on the right path and continue to follow Jesus Christ, the one that adores to the end. That's very important. So there's a lot of other YouTubers out there that's actually pushing that once saved, always saved. And that's not what Jesus said. So I will say, take all the information that you do get, all the Bible verses which you do get, and put them together and research them. Look into them and decide for yourself. But this is exactly what Jesus said. This is a clear indication. Matthew chapter 18, verse 11 to 14. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. God bless you and God bless your family.